Flavor of India, the Fine Cup Award.
Yeah.
Congratulations. So after 10 years of all the hard work that has gone behind, Kruti Coffee brings home the Best Coffee of India award. Oh, yeah.
Well, thanks Rohit. You've been a great support in the journey so far. Well, it's for India's best Arabica Naturals. Okay, if I can be more precise.
Best Arabica Naturals goes out to Kruti Coffee, Kindiriguda Tribal Farmers Guild.
Because that's the toughest process and the most difficult one to maintain the standardization that you need. And well, of course, I would say majority of the credit goes to the tribal villagers of Kindiriguda who believed in us, who followed the instructions to the T, and the result is in front of us.
Kindiriguda Naturals.
Kindiriguda Naturals, yes.
Kindiriguda Naturals. So the journey, I have been associated with Kruti Coffee, with you as a consultant, as a marketing consultant, as a coffee lover.
Yeah.
For a fairly long time now, and my coffee journey, understanding of coffee evolved with my association with the brand, and it's not just a collaboration, it has been my interest in coffee, because the nuances that I understood about coffee, when you start appreciating something, when you understand what goes behind a product, and then you appreciate it better, and that was my journey with coffee when I made that trip to Koraput, and I understood how it is processed from farm to cup. Then my liking for coffee and my respect for coffee evolved, and a lot of thanks to you and your team for taking me to Koraput back then.
No, I think you captured it brilliantly, because that story need to be told, and they have been doing amazing work as farmers, and the challenges of tribal communities are different. And as I've always mentioned, that I have seen their struggle, I have seen their triumph, so that entire spectrum. So it's very relatable, and so I feel definitely proud with what we have achieved with this cup, but I feel proud that it has recognized the contribution of a community.
And I saw this old video of yours where you have shown this coffee plantation absolutely in tatters, some 10 years, 11 years, completely, I think, devastated, and nothing.
As luck would be, I still have that video.
Yes, and in 10 years, the transformation from that to this cup is phenomenal.
So we have to give credit to various government agencies which also helped the farmers to revive their beautiful farm. Coffee Board has done amazing job in the farm. Even before we started intervening, they have been doing a great job. Some state government agencies like TDCC, Soil Conservation, it's a government land on which this whole coffee plantation is there. So what we did was a very critical catalyst which you require sometimes to make better things the best. If I can say, that's the gap we bridged. It is probably
the best practices.
Yes. So all along we have always believed that this is a special plantation. Of course, there's a lot of meaning behind it, but we always believed that we can get the best out of here because of the people. Absolutely committed people. They have gone through a lot of struggle, but they have never lost their hope. They have never ever stopped working hard. They have never stopped believing in themselves. And what better platform can you have to try something that you wish to create?
So around 40 plus families, I think there are in Kindiriguda which are directly and indirectly being impacted through this venture.
Yes. The number of families are a bit more than 40, but 40 families are completely involved in coffee plantation, and we have seen their production almost becoming 4 to 5 times in 5 years. and they would not have achieved that if they had not believed in their own product, in their own commitment.
So, how you got this award? What are the aspects that were being considered? There must be certain set of parameters which would have been a reason why Kindiriguda Naturals was chosen as one of the best, as the best in the country.
Yeah. So as you know that they have set very high standards of scrutiny when it comes to the WCC, and especially the one held in India this year. They tried to really truly recognize and provide a fantastic platform for coffee entities across the value chain to network. But such recognitions just encourages people like us to stay serious with coffee. But I would say, if you would like to know how does coffee gets evaluated, like as good, bad, or whatever we call it, it goes through variety of scrutinies, right from the moisture content to the density, to the way the characters come out during roasting, to the way cupping. And since I have not interacted with the judges, I don't know what they have used, but coming from an SCA background, because I have done my own SCA courses, I would assume that that's how they would have evaluated it. And thankfully that's exactly how we scrutinize every coffee that we develop. So the farm practices are quite standardized, especially for Kindiriguda Naturals. We follow very strict parameters while picking the cherries. They have to be optimally ripe, and each farmer who is into picking the cherry knows exactly what's a good cherry, what's not. Then they collect it, they know how to create raised beds to dry them on bamboo raised beds. Then we keep monitoring it, and even after it is fully dry, we sort of have created some storage facility in Kindiriguda which is standardizing moisture, which can be the biggest nuisance sometimes. And then so far we have been sending it to a very good curing unit in Chikmagalur, and then we get it to Bhubaneswar and roast it. But like in this entire process, it becomes little expensive for us, but that's how we have nurtured Kindiriguda Natural, and I'm so happy that it has been recognized.
So for the uninformed, what does specialty coffee mean? Like, there would be
have some coffee, have some specialty coffee. So, well, the difference between regular coffee and specialty coffee is that everything is calibrated across the value chain, and that's why like our Saura art is representative of that, right from farming to processing to roasting. Everything is standardized, even brewing. But ideally it should be a traceable coffee, where you can trace where it is coming from. The farm should be traceable. It should be produced not in huge quantities. It should not be a volume game, it should be a value game. So thankfully, when it comes to various coffees that we have developed, we tick all the box, and then ultimately the score is what defines specialty, and that is at cupping. So SCA has forms by which you can, various coffee quality bodies have very standardized parameters to define something as specialty or good, and that's how it is.
So when you mention traceability, it means that single origin coffee as
even if ideally yes, single origin, but even if like you're aggregating a few farms, etc., it should be traceable where it is coming from. Yeah.
Collectively. And when we speak of blends.
Yeah, blends, so as they say, is blends, and
so it
you
could
combine.
Be from the same region, or it could be from a different region.
It can be from different regions. For example, there are blends which are also from different countries.
Okay.
So you will find specialty blends where people have combined things from South America with Africa and part of Asia. So blends is actually when you combine different coffees, and you can do blends in different ways. You can actually combine the green beans and blend them together and roast them together, or you roast them differently and then blend them. And of course, while we create our blends, we combine and cup them, and also take espresso extractions to see that they're combining well. You just can't combine two things. They have to combine well. Of course, there are people who combine it in different ways. It's a very open market.
All calibrated and calculated every single. So you have completed the SCA course back in Hong Kong.
Yes, I have completed.
You're a certified coffee expert.
So SCA, as you know, is a very tough academics as far as coffee is concerned, and it's primarily to bring some discipline into the way the standardization and quality of coffee is maintained. So I have finished all the levels of roasting in SCA. So I just recently finished my SCA professional in roasting, and a very satisfactory experience of last 3 to 4 years, and that's exactly what gives us more confidence to be more experimental, roasting more coffee, and in that context I have already shared with you that we are in talks to include coffees from beyond Odisha. Like we have already included in one of our blends, we have included Robusta from Karnataka. Okay. So that's our espresso blend, premium espresso blend that we have developed, but we will be taking more Arabica from Karnataka. Okay. We are taking some from Northeast. So it will be a different story, and you have seen some of the international coffees I have roasted, because that's my hobby.
You roasted that in Hong Kong?
Hong Kong, yes. I roasted them in Hong Kong and brought them for people like you who'd like to taste some amazing international coffee.
And I think my viewers should also know your entrepreneurial journey. A lot of you wouldn't be knowing that he's a doctor by profession, and he was in Hong Kong pursuing a full-time job while
So I was
having this venture coming up as his baby side by side, and he was putting in all the efforts as well. I mean, equally. I mean, that would have been a really
so I was having a fantastic career
job, yes.
in insurance. I've spent 20 years in insurance, where I used my medical background, and so it was a very because I was handling an Asia-wide role, a couple of functions. So it used to take a lot of my time and attention, and you have to do that when you are into a full-time job. So I was only left with the weekends to do my roasting classes, and I had a very, very kind trainer in Raymond, the person who heads the Coffee Pro in Hong Kong, under whom I did my roasting. He was very accommodative. He has done, I don't remember how many classes for me on weekends, just to accommodate it for me, and he loved my passion for learning, and he heard about the entire Kruti story, the social angle behind it. He loved Kindiriguda coffee. The very first time I gave him the green beans and he roasted it, he loved it. And that's one notch behind what it is today. So it was already great, but it has become superior now. Yeah.
So what next for Kruti? Where are we heading now?
So, like Kruti has evolved in 3 stages, as you know. So the first stage was when Dr. Amol and I visited Kindiriguda for the first time, and we saw a plantation in a very bad state, and something that my father had started many years back. So it was very emotional moment for me, and that's when we pledged that we'll revive it or add to the efforts being done by various agencies. And for 5 years we just helped supporting the village with things which can sustain the village, even education, etc., etc. Then from 2018 till 2021, and that's when we connected a bit more, we transitioned Kruti Coffee from just an impact-driven venture to a specialty coffee venture. Now, 2021 onwards, we have started the baby steps of growth, and with this accomplishment, if I can say so, we think we have arrived to really be a truly pan-India specialty coffee brand, and we'll do our best to sort of be a very relevant player in this space.
So thank you so much. It was lovely interacting with you once again, and we look forward to see Kruti Coffee growing by leaps and bounds and spread across the entire country, and maybe a couple of cafes coming up internationally as well.
Hopefully. But Rohit, thanks a lot for believing in us when we were still, like establishing ourselves. And I think one thing I really like about our interaction is that certain things I had preempted about Kruti Coffee, and probably you were among those very few people whom I had shared a roadmap, and you might have seen some of them realizing the way actually we had planned. So and I always believe in partnership, and if you see, most of our relationships in Kruti Coffee are deeper engagements like the one we have with you. So thanks for your faith and the journey and living the journey with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.